Welcome back. As you remember, we created the third section using the bolt builder for our homepage. Now we're going to try and build section 4, 5, and 6. We're going to do this all in this video because we now are up to speed on how to build the pages and how to use the builder easily. So we'll go back to our editor. In here, we are going to create a section, and in this section, we are just going to set up quickly, and it's going to be medium, large, and no, it's not a full screen, and no, yes, it's a top, and no, it's not. Okay, so that's done. Now we want to delete this. On here, we want to create 3 columns. We want to create 3 columns, and I think this will look nice, so we use this. Okay, so we have the 3 columns. We'll set these columns quickly. So we will have left, top, and no animation on this time, and then leave it as normal. Left, top, no animation, leave it as normal. Okay, so now what we do in here is we will then leave it as it is for now and then create another section. In this section, we are going to have section 5. We're going to change it a little bit. We're going to say on this section, we're going to say, I'm just thinking the best way for you just to use something different. Let's use wide actually. Wide, no spacing, no, and I want it top and I want it no. Perfect. So that's fine. Then what we do is we will then create 2 columns inside the row. We create add, and then I want 2 columns divided. So click on 2 columns, and that's created. Now we're going to add another row in the same section. So I'll say copy and paste. Okay, so I'm actually creating all the columns and then all we do is we start putting the elements inside them. Sometimes it's quicker this way, so you've created your layout and then you just add the content in. The reason why I'm doing it this way, so you have a field on different ways of building a site. Some web WordPress developers, they rather create all the layouts and then put the element. Some will do it one by one as we did on the previous videos. Okay, so this way that we're doing it now is a bit quicker in a way. So here on this, we're gonna create another section. On this 6th section, we're going to do, so we have our section here. So we have it, okay, we leave it like this. Let's change that a little bit so we have something different, large. Let's actually have the spacing as large as well. Let's have it no, and then let's have this one as a no, okay? And so we have that, and then we will just delete this. And then what I'll do is I want another one here. I want 3 of these here. Actually, just thinking 3, yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, let's have 3 there. That's fine. So we'll have 3, 1, 2. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's leave it like that. That's fine. Now let's add another row. So we'll just say copy, paste. So we have another row in the same field, but this time we want to delete this. Sorry. And we want to delete. So what did we do before? So we want to delete this. Okay, so we have another row here. Now what I'll do here is I will then say edit. Sorry, I will just add, not edit. I will add another row. I'll just add 1 row. Okay, and then I'll submit. So let's just recap. So our 6th row, it's gonna be a bit longer. So our 6th row, we have that, and then we have, so I have actually removed, I made a mistake here. Apologies for that. So I'll just copy and paste this. So on this one, I said we have 2, okay? And on this one, we have 1, Okay, so on the 6th row we have a full row, 2 divided, and then we have 3 columns. Then on the 5th row we have 2 divided by 2, 2, 2, okay, and then the same one we have another row which is 2, 2, so which is fine. And then on the 4th column we have 3, but I think I want to tweak this 3 a little bit so that you can see the difference. So I want to change this. You remember I was telling you that you can put numbers yourself. So I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna say 1. Sorry, 1 second. Everything there, and I'm gonna type myself. So I'll say 1, 6, 1/6. So you can see it's automatically changing by 4/6, and then I'm gonna say 1, 6. Okay, and if I say submit, okay, so it's giving us as an error. So if we just go back to 4 again, and then we just click on this again. So what we do is we change it to 1/6 plus 4/6 plus 1/6. 1/6. Okay, so you see where I made the mistake because yeah, that's right now. Yes, correct. So we have it this way. So that everything seems to be okay with the layout. Now we can actually add our contents the way we want it. And this will be a little bit faster for, okay. So what we do here, I want to add an image here first. Okay. Again, as you remember what I said before, if you want any image, you can either go get it yourself, or you can just um, ask me and I'll just give it to you. So the image, I'll just look for an image. Okay. Now when it opens that, I'll select the image. I'll drag and drop the image. Okay. And then I'll say info, I'll say square, no lazy load, and I will inherit. Okay. No URL. I'll leave the URL alone and everything alone as usual. Okay. I'll submit. So we have our image. Now that our image is done, I want to add a separator. Now I'll say separator. In this separator, I will leave it as normal, and then I'll leave the border as none. Okay. And then I want a bit of text. So I'll add a headline. I'm going a bit quicker because I'm assuming if you are at this stage, that means you've understood at least everything that we're doing here. So we have the photograph, so we put some content there. You can add whatever content you have. I'm just gonna put the contents that I've already prepped for you. And then I'll put this as 2, and then I'll leave the text as normal this time rather than extra. And then the design wise, I'll leave it normal really, and then I'll leave the fonts normal, etc. And then I will do that. Now we have the font. Now I want to add a separator as well again. Copy, paste, drag, and bring it to the bottom. Now we did that. Now I want to do something a bit more fun in a way. Okay, let me show you. So this time the idea that I have is I want to bring in some logos, and these logos are going to be customers logos. So what we can do is we can add an image slider here. When we add this image slider, we will then go and upload all our logos that we want. Okay, so in here I have all my images. So I am just gonna go and grab all the images that I want, click on here, open the folder again, and drag and drop it here. Okay, so now that the client's logos are all there, I'm just gonna select, and now I'm gonna say I want it to the height to be automatically detected, and I want the size to be full, and I want the animation to be default. I want the arrows to show, and I want the dots to hide. I don't want the dots at all, but I want it to show in full. Okay, I don't want it to show, and I want the autoplay to be every 3 seconds. Okay, and then I want the arrow to hide completely. Now that we've done this, we don't need to worry about the responsiveness because it will delete by itself, and we don't need to worry about any custom. And then we will then save that. Now we have finished this section. Now we will then go to section 5. Section 5 will then come here. Okay, we'll then come here. Actually, before we go to section 5, I have an idea. In here, I want to make this to be an animation. So why don't we use fade in here? Okay, so we use fade in here. Now in here, in section 5, let's set up the columns as well. The columns, we want it to be center, we want it to be in the middle, and we want it to fade in. And we want it to be double, okay? Then in here, we want it to be center, we want it to be medium, we want it to be fade in as well, and we want this one to be normal. And then in here, we want it to be center, we want it to be middle, we want it to be fade in, and we want this one to be double. And in this one, we want it to be center, we want it to be middle, we want it to be fade in, and we want it to be normal. Okay, now that we set our columns, now we can bring our elements here. Now here, I want the separator first, so there's a bit of spacing. Okay, and this separator, I will set it as a medium. Actually, in this separator, I want to see, yes, let's put a bit of padding on the top. So we'll say medium, and then we'll say large, and then we'll leave it as an open. Okay, now I will copy this. Actually, I'll just, rather than copying it, let's do one by one so you can learn from it. So I'll add another separator here, and then here I will say medium, I'll say large, and I'll say none. And then in the other one here is the same, separator, medium, large, and none. Then here, add a separator, medium, large, and none. Okay, so we've got that. Now we want to add few things here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to first work on my right. Okay, I want to add an image background only on this column. I'm doing this purposely so you know that you can actually add a background on only one single column. Okay, so we will add a background image on this so you see how it's done. Now, first of all, remember what we need to do. So let's do this as an assignment for yourself. Add an image here as an image background here on this column, and then test it on the live to make sure it's all okay. Okay, I assume that you can do that. If you can't, not a problem, just watch me do it. How to do that? Edit the column, okay? Let's stick with general, everything is okay. And then design, let's add a background image, okay? Then we drag and drop the image and then select, and then that's it. Our background image is set. There's another place that I want to add another background image. So what I'll do exactly the same. I'll go and get the image first. So wherever you've saved the image, go get the image, prepare the image, and everything is okay. And now you come here to this column, edit, design, select, and drag and drop, and then select. Okay, now that we have that image there as well, so we are all sorted in here. And then so we created our two images side by this side, and the left one right, one left. Now that that's done, now let's start working on our content. In here, I want to add a title, so you can do the same. Remember headline. In headline, you can put whatever content you want. I'm not gonna put a super headline this time. I'm just gonna have that, and I'm just gonna have some content here, and I'm gonna have it as 2, and I'm gonna have it as extra large this time. Okay, and that's that. Okay, so now that's done, I'm gonna add a separator. So I'll copy, paste, and then I'll paste that here. Okay, and in here I'm gonna just tweak that. I want it just to be medium, large, and sorry, this time actually I'll have no space, and I'll have normal and then none, because otherwise it'll be too big. Then let's add a button, because remember on our hero image we added a button. If you remember how to do it, maybe this is a chance for you to try and add it by yourself and see. But what I want to add a button that will say contact us. Okay, so I'll add a button here, and then I'll put some text, which is contact us. Okay, I'll leave the icons the same. URL, I don't want it to go anywhere, so I'll leave a hash on it at the moment, and then that's it. So in the design, it's up to you how you want to design it. But I will have the button to be medium. I will have it to be light font and dark background, so it's nice and sleek. I will have it outlined this time. Remember last time we have it as field. Okay, this time we want it outlined. And then we say, so we have now done the first section. Now we just need to copy and paste that to the bottom. Remember, with me, I always have separators between everything that I do, so it's nice and clean. So we have a separator at the end. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll copy, paste, and I'll bring this here. And then all I need to do in here, I need to change the text on here. So I'll just do that. Okay, I will just grab that one and I will change that. I'll leave that as it is. And the design actually on this one, I want to change it to light font, dark background on this one. Okay, so light font, dark background. Let's actually do it on this one as well. Design, light font, dark background. So they're all the same. Okay, that's done. Now we add a separator. So I'll add this separator to give space, and I will actually add another separator because that's the end. I don't want to add any more content in here. Okay, so we have done this now. Now that this is completed, now we need to go to the next section of it. Okay, now in here we can copy almost similar thing here. So what I can do if I want, I can actually bring this one to the top. Guys, I'm showing you this intentionally so you see that you can also move the rows yourself if you want to. You can bring that row below. You see, it shows you, and you see it came up and that went up. So you can actually do it that way if you want to. Yeah, well, let's leave it the way it is now. It's fine. But just remember, everything is draggable, even the sections. So you can drag anything you want. Now, what we do is we are going to add the columns in the content in these, the elements. So we are going to add the headlines and everything here. So I'm just quickly going to copy the headlines so that it's done and dusted for you. So in here, I'm just going to copy, paste. So I'll copy that headline for you. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll say copy, paste, and then I'll copy that headline for you. And then I will then copy, paste the big one. Copy, paste. Okay, so get that. Okay, so we have got that sorted. I will then copy, paste. If you see what I'm doing, look how quick it is. So you do not have to do everything from scratch all the time. I'll say copy, paste, and I'll bring it here. Remember we had a button. I'll come and copy the button, paste, and I'll bring it here. Okay, and then I'll say copy, paste, and I'll bring it here. Okay, now we change the text because we don't want to use the same for everything. So in here, we change this text to that, and then that to that. And then the design, we just make sure the design is the same, dark. Okay, so we've got that agriculture all sorted that side. Then we change the button text because we don't want the button to be the same. So we just change this one to maybe pilot list and leave it as that. And maybe see if we want to keep it the same if you want to. If you want to change it, you can change it. I'm going to leave it the same. So now that we have done that, I noticed that is the same content as this. So I'm going to change this one I'm gonna change it so it's something different. So I'll put that there, and then I will put that there, and then save it. Now that we have done our fifth section, please, if you're having any issues, you can pause wherever you are struggling and do it over and over until you understand. This video will be a bit longer as I expect, but we are almost there now. Just bear with me and let's finish this. So on this sixth section, I will go a little bit faster for you. In here, we will leave the settings to be left, top, no animation, and normal. But in the middle, we will change the middle. We'll say left. Actually, let's change it to center, top, and let's put a bit of fade in, and then let's leave it as normal. And then let's leave this one to left, top, no animation, and normal. That's fine. In here, we're going to add a header. So we just say header, and then we add some text there. So you can copy the text that I've got, or you can just put whatever you want. So then we'll just change this to F2, and then we'll change this to normal. Okay. And then the design, we can just keep it as it is. It's not a big deal. Okay. And then we will just go and get one of the separators. So I'll just copy that separator, copy, paste, and then I'll drag it to here. So it saves us redoing it. So that's done. Now on this row, we just need to put some stuff here. This is gonna be interesting because I'll be introducing you how to add videos on your using the bold editor. In here, you just need to search for video, and when you search for the word video, you can literally just select, and you can go on YouTube and copy any link. So I'm just gonna go on YouTube and get any. So I found this one, I'll just put that one, and I'll say disable the controller if you want to disable the controller. Okay, and then I can copy paste. Now that I copy paste, I can bring it here if I want to, but remember what I said before, it's not gonna work unless it knows that it's something to work with. Okay, so here unfortunately we have to add this one manually. So video, and then I'll paste it in again, and I'll say yes to add in a controller. And then I'll delete this, and then I will add a separator. So actually the separators, as I told you about the copy and paste, easy for us. So let's just copy and paste, and drag. Okay, so we've done that. Now we want to have one last button at the end. So before we have the button, let's fix our column. On the column, we have center on the column, we have top, we have fade in, this animation, and then we add a button. To add a button, we'll say plus, bring me a button, and then I'll say get started. Okay. On this get started, I'll leave it as left, and I'll have it as a hash because we don't have a page for it at the moment. And then on the design, you can use whatever you want or just follow as I'm doing it. This time I'll have it as a dark font, light background because it's easy, and I'll have it as an outlined. Okay, and I'll say save. All done. Now I'm just gonna say okay. Now let's look at a complete homepage that we have created. Okay, I'm gonna hide the editor mode and then scroll through our site. I think that's really nice. But what we can do here, if you see, there are some issues here. There's some issues here. The text is not coming up properly, if you noticed. Okay, so we can fix this very easy. So what we need to do is we need to activate the mode, then click on the fifth. Okay, now what I'm going to do in here on the fifth, I'm going to, because remember the way we set things up at the beginning, I'm going to drag this, I'm going to bring it here. Okay, now that we have it here, I'm going to now recheck the settings one more. So here I said I want the column to be center, middle, fading, and normal. Okay, and on the design, I want it to be on the design, I want it to be non-triangle, and it's that, and there's no responsiveness. I say submit. Okay, now I want the text there. Okay, so the text is there, everything is on top of that. Now I want this content to show as well. Now what I do, I'll click on the not the separator, the text itself that I want it to show. I need to make sure that it's dark and it's readable. So the text, it's there. Okay, so what I can do, actually what I want to do is I want to swap these two content so it can look better. Again, you don't need to do this. This is me trying to make it look a little bit more like more nice, but apart from that, there's no issue. Okay, so I have that there. I'm just gonna drag that here now. Okay, so we have that there. We have a separator, and we're going to bring the button to here. Okay, so we have a button here. Okay, so in here now we will have a normal, a large, and a text here that is dark and inherit, and we have a none here. Then in this side we have some text, so I'm gonna do the same as I did before. I'll bring that one there, and I'll bring that one there, the second bit. Okay, and so we have that, a separator, a button, so I'll bring that button now on there. Okay, we have now a button, and we have a separator as well. Okay, so everything seems to be normal here. So in the second one we have a separator, we have a headline which is dark as well. Okay, and we have text, we have a button which is dark as well, and we have a large, and we have the same here. I'm going to update this, and hopefully this should solve our issues that we have. If not, we will have to go through it once more time. Okay, so now it's actually fixed it to the way we want it. Okay, so but however, if you see, it's showing our content as white. So we need to change our font scheme. So here we will come back to here. It's actually very good that we're having these issues, because it will show you how to fix it in the real world yourself. So rather than using light, I'm going to use dark. Okay, rather than using light, I'm going to use dark. Okay, and then I'm going to update, and then I will come here. Yes, see, it fixed our issue. So we have got that, we have got that. Happy days. So let's check, let's hide this, let's go through our website homepage. So this is our homepage, and I think it looks amazing. Okay, everything seems great. Our videos are here. We can play the videos same time if we want. We can pause the video. There is no controller, but you can pause the video. And remember our button, the get started button. It's not going to do anything obviously, but it's there. Now that we did all this, we were going to stop here for now. And congratulations, your homepage is completed. Now, the only thing left on the homepage is to have a footer. On the next video, we're going to work on the footer.